As Southwest TV News continues to be your #1 source for local news, we've expanded our website with a new look and a new name. Welcome to mylocaltv.ca. Check out the latest news from Southwest Saskatchewan and enjoy a range of additional video content. It's only a click away at mylocaltv.ca. This summer around the Southwest feature is brought to you by Innovation Credit Union. Imagine the possibilities.
Swift Current is a city rich in cultural diversity, a fact that's reflected with the annual Multicultural Celebration held in the downtown core. This year's event hosted a wide variety of cultures, activities, and experiences. But before we take a look at the big day, let's see what planning and preparation goes into such a large event. We caught up with organizer Barb Parchman just over a week before the event, and she gave us an idea of some of the challenges they face.
At the beginning, I guess the big thing was to get our street closure stuff out of the way. And so that meant going door to door to the businesses and working with the city on getting that underway. The street's only 40 feet wide, and so is the tent, and so there's not enough room to pound anchors into the street to hold the tent down. So we have to bring in these 3,000-pound cement blocks, and then we had to get hold of the Kinsmen. They have this airline cable that sits under the blocks, and the tent is anchored to that cable, and that's how it's held down on the street. So it's a matter of coordinating with all these people, the Kinsmen, trucking companies to haul the blocks, finding someone with a heavy enough lift equipment that can move the blocks into the proper place, coordinating with the art gallery, it's their tents, and then trying to find enough volunteers to do all the setup. So the venue was probably the first priority, and then the next would have been getting people in place for the displays and for the various activities.
Some of these activities included cultural performances. For several weeks before the festival, a group of Latin women from around the community choreographed a traditional dance and practiced weekly at the Newcomer Welcome Center.
What we are trying to do is to show to the community in Swift Current that we have a so rich culture from Mexico. That's why we are practicing a couple dance. This dance is from Jalisco, Mexico, but is well known all around the world.
To keep the dances authentic, a dance instructor was brought in from Mexico and several outfits were supplied.
It's very important because show a lot about the Mexican culture. Women used to wear for everyday long dresses like this.
We enjoy all these colors because they are actually very bright colors, and they represent the culture of Mexico.
Along with performances, several cultural banners were created for the event with the help of the art gallery and artists of various cultural backgrounds.
We have 5 different cultures. There's the First Nations, Métis, South Korean, Cuban, and Mexican that are all painting banners for us. They're painted by people from the culture to represent what their culture means to them. And so for some of them it's a literal representation, and they might have the flag of their country and the flowers and that. For others it's more of an abstract idea. And I caught a glimpse this year already of the Métis banner that's going up, and it's really neat. It's got some symbolism, but it's also, there's some abstract ideas in it.
I am representing the Métis culture. That's my background and my heritage. I started with the idea of having the tree because the tree is one of very profound symbols for me. It's one of the most connected elements in our culture because its roots go into the earth and its leaves touch the sky. So it's kind of like Mother Earth and Father Sky.
With the banners measuring a large 4 feet by 10 feet, we asked Tequila what the biggest challenge was of having such a large canvas to work with.
The big white space. When I originally started, I had put all the drawings together on the canvas first, and I started painting the buffalo as my first image. And as I was doing the painting in the tree, I realized that I was getting a little bit overwhelmed and anxious, and I figured out that if I painted the background first, it wouldn't be so overwhelming, because I was running around sometimes going, oh no, I'm not going to get it done, there's too much white space. That was the only challenging part, was getting it from that white space into the creation of everything that I needed to portray.
Of course, dancers and banners weren't the only items on the agenda. Organizers really wanted to introduce some unique ideas to the festival, such as mini language lessons and cooking demonstrations, giving people a taste of both various languages and foods. With such a multifaceted operation, we asked Barb how she keeps track of everything leading up to the festival.
I have lists upon lists. If I ever lost my little notebook, I'd be totally lost. We have Renew. He's a Katimavik volunteer, and he's been helping us. He's working for the Newcomer Center as well as the Lyric during the week, and so he's been really helpful to me too in helping to put this festival on, and he's been making phone calls and building signs and those kinds of things. Things are falling into place, and I just find that I've had a lot of support from the committee, and like I said, the city's been really great to us, and we're also working with Market Square. They're going to have a multicultural flavor to their event that day, and so the whole downtown should be buzzing with hundreds of people enjoying all the food, and it should smell good and sound really good downtown that day anyways.
With all the pieces of the puzzle in place, it was time for the big event. The gates opened at 11 a.m. on a beautiful Saturday morning, and a steady crowd flowed to the RBC Pavilion. Patrons got a chance to taste flavors from around the world.
There you go. Try not to put the brown thing, if not, it's
We spoke to some attendees and asked how they were enjoying the food.
Well, this is East Indian. It's from the Husky, and it is totally awesome. It's warm. It's got some heat to it. The chicken is great flavor, and this bread, I'll tell you, the way they make it in that oven, put up against the side, and it cooks it. It's awesome.
Yeah, really lots of color and lots of flavor and lots of heat.
The food was only one piece of the puzzle. All in attendance got a chance to witness performances by many different cultures throughout the day.
I was at Taekwondo. It was really interesting. They went through their 28 steps they have, and it was kind of interesting to watch.
We're all from South Korea. We all go to the same church, St. Andrew's, here in Swift Current. And the style of songs that we did today was mostly famous music in Korea. We practice every day for like hours.
One performance by a group of Filipino children was very well received. We spoke with the president of the Filipino community about its significance.
We have 10 kids that participate on that dance. But supposed to be, it's a group dance. Back in the Philippines, if you visit the cultural center of the Philippines, it's a group of dancers, around 50 dancers. They used to dance that during the cultural celebration.
And after weeks of practice, the Latin dancers took to the stage.
I think we did it very well. We was practicing a lot during the last 2 weeks. So I think the people are happy.
We see all these people, and the people is happy and they are clapping, so it's the best thing we can get from everybody, the smiles and everybody saying you did great, so that sounds pretty good to us.
And the cultural banners were on full display for the enjoyment of everyone in attendance. Although the time leading up to the event was hectic for Barb Parchman, the day itself also went without much rest. We caught Barb for a moment to get her impression of the event.
Well, I think it went well. I mean, we had such beautiful weather today. There's tons of people through here. We've had performances going all day. The volunteers have been working hard, and everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. I've seen lots of food going, and I think it turned out well. I really do.
Organizers estimate that over 1,000 people came through the festival gates. With such a good turnout, we asked some of the participants why a festival like this is important for Swift Current.
Well, I think it's an amazing event. It's allows people from all over the world to get together and share culture and music and dances and food. And it's amazing. It's very good.
It's very interesting how many cultures can get together in a single day and how they can show pieces of what they are or where they came from.
The more we learn about each other's backgrounds and cultures, the more likely we are to fulfill a almost like a new treaty of peace and harmony.